years ago, a rock group with a most bizarre look made a recording that a lot of critics took very lightly. They dismissed it, as a matter of fact, but nobody dismisses this group today or its records. They've made 15 albums and probably sold 15 million albums. Kiss is one of the most popular rock and roll groups in the country, and we wanted to find out just what puts the pucker in Kiss. Say that line 5 times. We sent our friend Billy Crystal from the Soap television show to the Los Angeles Forum for a first. This is the first time the members of Kiss have done a television interview before their show. Tell us all about everything that's going on over there, Billy. Introduce us.
Hi, Dinah. I want you to meet my new friends. Say hello to Kiss. Peter Criss.
Hey, Dinah.
Simmons.
Hi, everybody.
That's Ace Frehley on the end.
How you doing there, Space Invaders?
Maybe another one.
And Paul Stanley.
Hello, young lovers. Wherever you are.
Oh, this should be a lot of fun. Now, what is the fantasy of Kiss? I mean, how did this start? When you guys decided to be what you wanted, and like I know when I was growing up, I wanted to be a comic, and that was hard for my mother to adjust to. How do you say, Ma, I want to be a demon on stage and play great music?
You go like
He's
this.
a demon on stage.
You go like this. Ma, I want to be a demon on stage.
Have some soup, we'll talk.
But the truth,
does that happen?
The truth comes out the
you
day
don't.
she walks in and you're wearing her makeup on.
Actually, my mother kind of looks like this. You know, she's got her top notch on, and she's got a red cape, shoes like this.
But what now this is all your own vision. This is all your own fantasy. You design.
Still.
You're into.
We still do everything ourselves. We put our makeup on. We just did it a little while ago. You saw us. As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, right in front of you, Billy Crystal.
Billy
Man who
Crystal
saw us put our makeup on.
He knows what we look like, and he knows why we wear this.
With and without
Exactly
makeup.
like the Mills Brothers. It's
Just
incredible.
like us.
Like seeing the Lone Ranger without his mask.
That's
You know,
right.
what is the fan? Each of you have definite characters that you portray really on stage, aren't you?
Well, yeah, to a point.
I'm a drummer. He plays guitar.
I really that's like.
We don't want to get too serious about it, but when we get up on stage, we stop talking like this. He starts talking, all right, you are. And he starts talking like that. I start to grunt and groan.
What do you do with your tongue?
I put your finger right there.
God, I had a lizard like
He goes into the audience and touches everybody's
That's right.
finger with his tongue.
Available for bar mitzvahs, weddings.
You also spit fire.
Yeah, it's a living, you know what I mean.
And what? And give up show business?
And give up show business. And blood every once in a while, just kind of.
How would you? Now, for a lot of people who haven't seen, you guys do a 2-hour show.
Right.
A lot of
2-hour show?
Sometimes, if we're in a good mood.
Yeah, if we're in a good mood.
What is a good mood and a good show to you guys?
Actually, most
I would
shows.
say every
Good
night.
audience
Every
and every
night.
night.
But what do you?
We keep to a certain standard. I mean, the most important thing to us is that we're comfortable with the show and we're proud of it. The worst thing would be for us to go out like this, because so many people have always thought these kind of costumes are strange. The worst thing would be for us to go out and not do a show that we thought was good. So it's always up to a certain standard, but if the audience is an
Hi, Billy.
exceptional audience, we're that much better.
What's an average audience goer to you? I mean, who comes to a Kiss concert?
Oh,
great.
Anybody, I guess the audience goes from about 6 to about 60.
That's amazing.
It really looks like a circus audience. It really does.
Ace, that's your cue.
We played Nassau Coliseum and my parents were there, right? And my best friend Bob was backstage kind of just making sure everybody was copacetic. And at the end of the show, he says, you know, your parents were out in the audience. They signed about 60 autographs.
Did they come in costume?
No!
But they charge for them, 25 cents a show.
But, you know, my parents are infatuated with the group and the whole idea about what rock and roll is.
But Bobby was wearing a dress for the sign.
What is rock and roll to you?
To me,
Yeah.
what are you looking at?
I mean,
This is rock and roll.
It
But
is?
it's more than the costumes, it's
Yeah.
the music too. And it's the whole excitement and the enthusiasm, and it's what makes people jump up and down and scream.
Now, and you're getting ready to go on. Now, for me, as a performer, this is the most difficult time for me. I like to be alone. I don't like to do interviews. Before, you know, I pace.
Neither do we.
Get out! No, but
You gotta see him.
We don't usually do this. We don't usually do this at all. In fact, most of the people stay out until after the show.
Still, the most difficult part is waiting to go on, because here we are, and this is like battle attire.
Right.
You know, and we're ready to go out and do what we're here to do.
Dinah, I'm looking forward forward to being back with you tomorrow, and we'll find out more about the band with the army of fans, Kiss.
I'm looking forward to seeing more Billy Crystal tomorrow with Kiss and some of their smashing theatrics. The more I see you. Bye, Gene.
Criss, Gene Simmons, Ace Frehley, and Paul Stanley. And they have 17,000 fans waiting for them at LA's Fabulous Forum for tonight's performance. Yeah, you talked about laying off before. Now, obviously, I guess you guys are in a financial position not to have to do this, not to have to do a grueling tour like this. Why?
Is that true, Mr. Klein? Do we have...
I think, to me, it's I love performing. It's in my...
I don't think we're doing this for the money, you know, Billy?
do this for the money.
Well, that was
We're
one.
doing it for more, it's more of a vocation than an occupation.
Plus, we own the hotel chain that we stay in. We have to check out how...
There's nothing like watching people smile and enjoy themselves.
It's almost a religious experience, and I don't want to get in trouble with
Oh, no.
all those people again, but when you step up on stage, there's a certain magic that happens.
There's an authorness about the group.
And I look at it like I have a gift, you know, I'm lucky enough to have it to make people happy, so.
You've been so successful. What do you want to do in the future? You guys, I mean, it's like
Bigger and
movies?
better.
I want to be a professional football player.
Good.
I want to be a butcher.
I've been working out.
I think that the future holds only bigger and better things. In fact, if anything is an indication of what we can do, the limitations are just our imagination. Anything that we pretty much come up with.
Well, it's more a matter of us continuing to go forward until it's not fun for us or fun for the audience. So
Right.
it's really hard to say what you'll be doing a year or two down the line. Hopefully we'll be making music and putting on a bigger show. It's always a challenge to us to come back with
I
something
think the
bigger.
sky's the limit, you know, Billy? You know, it's like...
It's like water over the bridge.
Would you like to do film?
Yeah, in fact, in the
Kiss
future.
film?
The trouble with doing films is
that we can't act.
yeah, put that away out of a paper bag. I mean, we're musicians first, and it's important that we do what comes most naturally. We don't go out and we're not running for office, and at the moment we're not acting.
I think, though, we really don't know what the band can do. There's so many facets to the band that we can do, I think, lots of different things that even we don't realize yet.
Right.
Comic books, just all kinds of stuff. Right now, though, we're paying attention to the music.
With all of those things, I mean, the marketing and all of the Kiss comic books and the lunch boxes and all of the things they do you worry ever about being overexposed?
No, you can. If there's a demand for something, then we should give it. You know,
Were the Beatles overexposed?
you can only you do something.
Were they?
Who's that?
I said, were the Beatles overexposed?
You heard him, Beatles.
Okay.
That was pretty serious. See, I probably could act. I did it.
I don't know. I think if people want belt buckles, you give them belt buckles. You know, it's not fair to deny people.
I won't give my wallet.
Yeah, everything is only going to last so long, so why not give as much as you can
So
while you
the
can?
reality of merchandising is if we don't put it out, someone else is going to put it out because there's a demand for the product. So, you know, why shouldn't we collect, you know, a percentage of the money if somebody else is going to do it and steal from
You have to make sure that it's good, too, because when somebody buys something that says Kiss on it, ultimately, we're responsible for it. It will appear whether we want it or not.
Do you plan any of this?
There was makeup. I mean, there was times where kids would put shoe polish on their face and stuff. And now we put out makeup, and it's the same thing we use.
It's called the shoe polish lawsuits.
You guys,
I know, a lot of lawsuits about that.
it's true, though. No, and it's safer for them. And I mean, they're not, you know, because a kid could really screw his face up.
The pinball machine is the best pinball machine that's out there.
Who makes that, by the way?
Bally.
Bally pinball machine.
Now, I saw a lot of kids in the audience in makeup, in your makeup.
Right.
It must be a bizarre sight to look out and see yourself employed.
I don't look
It's been going on for years, and I think it gets us off to this day. The first time it happened, we couldn't figure out what it was all
The first
about.
couple of times it happened, we would be behind the curtain going, is somebody out there dressed like you? You know, and you peek out through the curtains and you couldn't quite understand it, but it's just great. We had ducktails and we had greasy haircuts or we had Beatle haircuts, and the audience now has Kiss makeup.
The greatest trip we did is one night. We had it last night, and I had one of the guys dress up like me, and I snuck off the drums and put him up there. and he dressed,
Right, he
just
dressed
like
up like
Gene.
Gene.
That's right,
Like
dressed
Gene.
like Gene. So at the end of the show, when the drums were going up, it was Gene sitting behind the drums, and Gene turned around and looked at Gene.
There was a pause there for a second where you lose
And we
reality.
didn't tell
The
him.
drum, for those of you that don't know, the drum platform, along with Peter, levitates 25 feet into the air.
He flipped that.
And we have to turn around the last split second to get the cue for Peter to end the song. And just that one split second, I saw my face in back of the drums. And, you know, you kind of...
All the way home, he was
It wasn't
excellent
that
manager. Am I okay? I mean, you know.
Let's talk a little bit about the theatrics on stage, because they are incredible. You actually rise 25 feet.
Magic.
Yeah, and the drums go around.
And you fly.
Magic.
And guitars fly.
Guitars fly, guitars explode, they smoke.
Thank you guys for taking this time before you go on. I'm really looking forward to seeing your concert. Thank you very much, Ace Frehley.
Billy, it was my pleasure.
Paul.